What's going on, everybody? Cowboy C3. The NFC playoff picture looks something like this. Cowboys sitting down at 10th, Vikings right behind them. It'll look a little bit different after today because games are being played, of course. Seattle's about to lose. Rams look like they're about to win. Green Bay looks like they may take a loss. Chicago won pretty convincingly against Cleveland. But the most important thing that the Cowboys need to do is win. No margin for error, no room for mistakes. Win football games. Starts with the Vikings tonight at 7 o'clock, Sunday Night Football. Let's talk about it here next on Cowboy Spit.
Here we go! Yeah, here we go! Wait, take Cowboy Spit.
Throws back in the end zone. There's
What's going on, everybody? Cowboys versus Vikings tonight. Sunday Night Football. 7:20 p.m. at Jerry World. Cowboys are projected to have a 61.2% chance of victory. We'll see how that goes. Cowboys coming off a pretty rough loss to the Lions. Need to come out, establish some things pretty quick. I think that Minnesota gives you those opportunities. However, we'll talk about it here in a few minutes. They are one blitz happy team, and they will put pressure on Dak Prescott pretty convincingly tonight. But if you can get the football down the field against them, their secondary is a little suspect, and we'll talk about that some more in just a second too. There are some opportunities for you to win this football game. One thing that Seattle does not do very well is last year teams passed the ball against Minnesota pretty easily. They put the ball down the field against Minnesota. Minnesota got into some shootouts and, lost some games late in the season. And then, they got rid of Sam Darnold, injected JJ McCarthy, into the offense. And, went and got some quality pass rushers for their defense to kind of take that away from teams where you can just throw the ball on us. We're going to put pressure on the quarterback. We're going to dial in some blitzes with Brian Flores' defense. But with them doing that, they completely ignored the fact that you also have to stop the run, and teams have been running them like crazy. So you can see right here, Cowboys had the number one offense with 3,851 yards passing and 1,553 yards rushing. Minnesota comes in with the 28th ranked offense, 2,229 yards passing, 1,355 rushing. Minnesota has the 8th ranked defense with 2,240 yards passing. They don't give up very many passing yards at all because quarterbacks have a hard time getting rid of the football against Minnesota. But they will give up the rush, 1,648 yards rushing they've given up this season. They will absolutely give up the run. Cowboys have given up 1,496 yards rushing and have the 29th ranked defense in the NFL. Carson Wentz, who hadn't played in a while, is still the leading passer in Minnesota with 1,216 yards passing. Dallas Cowboys, of course, Dak Prescott's the leading passer with 3,637 yards passing, 26 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. J.J. McCarthy last week This is week 13. It's the week going into this is week 15. Last week in week 14 was the first game that he has played in where he hadn't thrown an interception. So they've been turning the ball over at a pretty alarming rate as well. Mason leading rusher 630 yards. Javonte Williams gone over 1,000 yards with 1,022 yards rushing. Justin Jefferson leading receiver 810. Pickens 1,179 yards receiving for the Cowboys, 8 touchdowns. Justin Jefferson only has 2 touchdowns this season. Wilson 5.5 sacks. James Houston 5.5 sacks. Kenneth Murray Jr. is the leading tackler for the Cowboys. Don't know how long that'll be because Kenneth Murray this week it was announced that he will see less playing time because of his play. And his play has been atrocious all season. And we've talked about it on this show. Like, refuses to fill holes, makes all the tackles downfield. It reminds me a lot of Jalen Smith did when he was here. You know, you can make a whole bunch of tackles, but if you're making those tackles 6-8 yards down the field, it doesn't really matter that you're making those tackles. Cashman for the Minnesota Vikings leads them with 93 tackles. You know, we'll look at the depth charts here in a minute. We'll go to the injury report. Jadeveon Clowney didn't participate in practice Monday or Tuesday. Limited Wednesday. Practiced on Friday. Limited as well. He's questionable for the game. Tyler Guyton did not participate in practice all week. He's out for the game. Everybody else, with the exception of Malik Hooker, who's questionable, everybody else is on the injury report. But they in limited practice, and by the end of the week, they were full participants in practice. They'll all play. Minnesota's got a pretty lengthy injury report, but it's more of the same. You know, you've got some questionable guys. Christian Darrisaw is questionable. Ty Chandler is out. But other than that, everybody on the injury list is nursing injuries. I mean, you're in week 15, you're gonna nurse some injuries. But there'll be participants in the game. You know, it's pretty normal to have in week 15 to be bumped up. But, you know, these guys, they're professionals. They know how to take care of their bodies. They know how to get their bodies ready to play. And for the most part, you know, these guys will be playing. Depth chart wise, JJ McCarthy will be your starting quarterback. And JJ's had a tough go at it. And that's, you know, you get rid of Sam Darnold. You're watching the things that he's doing in Seattle, and they just won on a 56-yard field goal to win the game. You know, these I do believe that Minnesota might be second guessing their choice of quarterback. JJ McCarthy has a tendency to not stay healthy. Missed his entire rookie season with an injury, and then he missed a couple games this season. But when he's been on the field, he's been inconsistent is a good word for it. They try to run the ball well, and one thing that and the funny part about it is that JJ McCarthy has thrown 10 interceptions in about 11 games of work. 9 of his 10 interceptions have been him trying to force the ball to Justin Jefferson. If he's throwing the ball to Justin Jefferson, there's a good opportunity for you to get some turnovers. And that is one of the things that the Cowboys could possibly take advantage of today. Aaron Jones, Justin Jefferson will be, you know, your wide receivers. TJ McConnell. super unfortunate for the Cowboys tonight. They have to take advantage of everything that they're doing. And I think I was on mute the whole time. So my apologies. We'll go back over this stuff. But you have to take advantage of playing a team like Minnesota, especially offensively, the way that they've been playing the entire season and the turnovers that they've had the entire season. You have to take advantage of those things. You have to. And this is the golden game. This is the golden opportunity. The right game to do so. The right game to get back on track. You had a tough go at it in Detroit. You need to get back on track. You still have an outside chance of making the playoffs. You're going to need a lot of help, but this is the game to get back on track to do it. And the third key to the game for the defense is just be physical in your approach. As long as you're physical in your approach and you do the things that you're supposed to do, fill the gaps, hit running backs, make these wide receivers pay, put pressure on J.J. McCarthy, make him throw some errant passes and give you some turnovers, you should be fine. Offensively, you need to stay balanced. You have to Dak is going to have to process reads quick tonight because Brian Flores will dial up. That dude dials up more blitzes than anybody in the NFL. Dak will be under duress tonight. Got to process things quick. Got to get the ball out of your hand. Got to get the ball to your playmakers. CD's back off of concussion protocol. He should play tonight. Maybe on a bit of a pitch count, but he can he should be able to play tonight. You have opportunities to win a football game and give Williams and Malik Davis the opportunity to run the ball. Give them plenty of opportunities to run the football. Minnesota has a tough time stopping the run. I truly and honestly believe that the Cowboys will win this game probably 30-14. As long as they follow the keys to victory, they should win the football game. It shouldn't even be that difficult of a game to play in. However, if they come out super soft zone, let J.J. McCarthy get comfortable, start feeding the ball to Justin Jefferson, getting T.J. Hockenson the ball. And T.J. Hockenson is my fantasy tight end, and he's been trash all season long. But if you let this dude just stand back there, get comfortable, quick decisions, getting rid of the ball fast and getting the ball to the wide receivers because your corners are 8 and 10 yards off the ball. It's got the potential to be another long night, another long Cowboy defense night where the score will be 34-31. I do think the Cowboys will still win, but just not interested in a game like that. They're going to have to bring some pressure on J.J. McCarthy, make him play the way that he's playing all season, which is inconsistent, erratic, and more than willing to give the ball up to the defense. It has to be like that tonight. That's how you win the game. You're going to have to play more press coverage. And the thing that is frustrating the most to me, I believe, is that, you've got these aggressive man corners on your team. And it's to the point now to where you should just line up like that. And if you beat me straight up, you beat me like that, then you just beat me. But if you're beating me because I'm playing 10, 12 yards off receivers and I'm not very good at it, right? Siobhan Revelle was an excellent man corner at East Carolina University. And you can tell, especially last week, he was lost as hell in the zone. No idea what to do. Wasn't turning his feet the right way. Just everything was off balance, and he was getting beat consistently. Deron Bland is the best zone corner that the Cowboys have, and I think he's like it was like 8th to last place in the NFL in zone coverage this year, and that's the best that the Cowboys have. Eberflus just needs to get his head out of his ass, or they need to get rid of him. Make a choice, like whatever that needs to be done, get it done. I mean, Dan Quinn had to swallow his pride. He was a big time cover 3 defensive coordinator when he came to the Cowboys. He realized that his corner sucked his zone coverage, so he switched to man, and the results were there. Got Bland, the pick 6 king. You had Trayvon Diggs playing the best football of his career, and now Trayvon Diggs inactive again. I guess he's still trying to get over this knee injury. I just think his days with the Cowboys or no matter what, if they get rid of the defensive coordinator, and I think his days with the Cowboys are just numbered, especially with the money that he's making. I mean, he's gonna have to take a significant pay cut, or he's gonna have to go try to seek employment elsewhere if he wants to play. With the Cowboys, he's gonna have to take a pay cut. Line him up. You know what I mean? I'd line him up in man-to-man coverage. And if you beat me, you just beat me. And I can live with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you beat me head up and I'm covering you man-to-man and you get down the field on me and you beat me one-on-one, then you beat me and that's that, right? Dak playing MVP caliber ball. Sad to see the defense let him down. I agree, Keezy. I agree wholeheartedly. It is very hard to watch the number one ranked offense, and it's right there. You got the number one ranked offense and the 29th ranked defense. If that defense was 15th, we're talking about this entire playoff picture looking different. You're talking about the Cowboys replacing Philadelphia and being in third place. And there's still golden opportunities for them to replace Philadelphia. Philadelphia, they beat the shit out of the Raiders today. They beat them 31-0. But you play a Washington team who today played inspired football, and I'm sure when Philly comes into town next week, they'll be inspired to do that. They still got to play Buffalo, and then they got to play Washington again. So there's some opportunities there that, you can get into the playoffs. You need some help, of course, but you are going to have to. It all starts. I mean, it's all predicated on you winning football games, and that needs to start tonight. You've got a decent Minnesota team that plays good defense, blitz happy defense, but they're pretty decent at it, and an offense that will give you the opportunity to create turnovers if you play your defensive cards correctly. And Eberflus, that's few and far between. He does that. Even in these games they won against Philly and the games they won against Kansas City, there were times in those games where they dropped back into that soft-ass zone and they just start getting shredded. Then it really showed its ugly head in Detroit where they just got annihilated by crossing routes because the wide receiver all he's got to do is take 2 steps and kind of cut in, just run a simple slant route, basically, and he's wide open. St. Brown did it all game last game. Jameson Williams did it, and then, linebackers start to step back as well to try to cover those slant gaps. And then next thing you know, running backs are running up the middle for 35 yards and Kenneth Murray is running beside him and escorting him into the end zone. Like, it was a bad look. Hopefully Kenneth Murray seeing less playing time will alleviate some of that stuff. Hopefully. But we'll see. Yeah, I mean, it's just honest. McCarthy should make a mistake. As long as you can get some pressure on McCarthy, he'll make a mistake, and it'll put your offense in prime opportunity and in a prime position to score points. And that's all you can really ask for. Just give Dak a short field, let him throw some passes, or run Javonte Williams and let him get some yards. The opportunity is there. It's just you have to take it. But to me, in my personal opinion, it's all predicated on the defense, what the Cowboy defense does today. And we'll see. At least they're not ranked 32nd anymore. I will say that. They're trending upwards, right? This is a team where you can jump from 29th to 25th against them because you can completely shut it down because their quarterback is erratic. Stop the run, make the quarterback beat you, and in theory, he can't, right? But you have to put some heat on him. Or you have to step up your coverage. You cannot just give him these soft zones and let him just play pitch and catch with 2-yard passes, and then your cornerbacks have to step up and tackle wide receivers like Justin Jefferson. It's not going to go well. And Justin Jefferson has had an off season this year because his quarterback has been so erratic. All of them have been erratic. But tonight is not the night to give these dudes a chance to get to be great. Not tonight. Home game, Sunday night, primetime TV. Everybody's going to be watching. It's the Dallas Cowboys. You need to make a statement tonight. And I think that they do. I seriously do. I hope that they do. Anyway. But anyway, 30-14, I think the Cowboys win. I can see it. I just hope that the defense don't let them down. I think the offense will do just fine. It's one of those type of games where Dak will be under pressure. He's played well under pressure. He's done well against the blitz all season. I don't think that changes tonight. You got both receivers healthy. Jake Ferguson is questionable, but it's trending like he's going to play. I think you're in actives tonight. I had it pulled up just a few seconds ago. You're in actives tonight are Jalen Tolbert, Tyler Guyton, Jaden Blue, Jay Toya, and Perion Winfrey. Jake Ferguson and Jadeveon Clowney are both active. So you have your tight end. You have your offense will be a go with the exception of Tyler Guyton. You should be fine offensively. Defensively is going to be your question mark, and we'll see how that goes. And hopefully, we've learned some lessons. We had 10 days, mini bye week to iron some things out. Should be fair. We should be good. Keezy, I'm hoping that McCarthy makes a couple of mistakes. And as long as he does that, Cowboys will win, and it's on to the next. Got a tough Chargers team coming in here next week that beat Kansas City today. Feeling good about their wild card chances as well. They're sitting at 10-4 right now. Good football team, good solid football team coming in here next week. But you need to take care of business tonight, or the Chargers game. You might as well play Joe Milton and the rest of the backups because your playoff chances are over if you lose tonight. You lose any of these games, your playoff chances are over. But anyway, right after the game, of course, the Chargers are very beatable. They don't even have a damn starting offensive line, but they're finding ways to win football games. They are. And Justin Herbert is not playing excellent football at all, and their defense is pretty suspect as well. But with that all that being said, they're 10-4. It's a Jim Harbaugh football team. They're tough. They run the ball well. Vidal runs the ball very well. They're the Chargers. They're just a tough football team. They come in, they try to beat you however the hell that they can. But yeah, they are beatable. Agreed, 100%. But Cowboys going to have to take care of business tonight before they can worry about the Chargers next week. Got to take care of business tonight. Right after the game, we'll go live. We'll do a post game. I will be more active next week. I was out of town last week for everybody. I didn't do a show last week. I was out of town. Back in town this week, not going anywhere. It's Christmas time, man. I'm not going. No more work trips. We'll be here. Cowboy C3, you guys take care. I will see y'all right after the game. We're going to celebrate this Cowboy victory tonight. I'm calling it right now. Speaking it into existence. Defense is the name of the game. Keezy, it is absolutely the name of the game tonight. And we're going to talk about how well the defense played right after the game. All right, y'all. Tune into the game. Cowboys versus the Vikings. Let's go, baby. Dallas Cowboy fan for life. You boys be cool, and ladies, of course. All right, see y'all after the game. Peace.